Alrighty! Hello and welcome back to ForkU. If you haven't caught wind of it yet, this week we're talking about the World Cup. But Elliot, you hate sports. You're goddamn right I hate sports, but the World Cup is about more than just sports. It's the world's biggest sporting event and captures the attention of nearly half the world's population. Plus, it's in Russia, so I figured that it was something that I should be talking about. The other big conversation happening around the World Cup is in the technology, or at least the conversation I'm having. With virtual assistant referees, performance trackers, VR streams, sensors all over the field, the technology at the World Cup is getting more and more advanced. So this got me thinking, what will the World Cup look like in the year 2070? Hey, it's me. I'm here to tell you about the 2070 World Cup. Oh wait, do we like sports in the year 2070? No, shut up. Imagine the World Cup in stunning 8K Super Ultra Mega HD with VR streams from every major network and streaming provider. The players have small relays on their skin and in their shoes that feed data to an augmented reality headset worn by their coach. The referees are robots with advanced AI that receive input from 100 different cameras and 10 times as many sensors. Being champion of the World Cup isn't enough anymore. Now, the champion team hopes they've trained hard enough to beat the Robotic team, undefeated since the first human challengers in 2050. At home, fans use cryptocurrency to bet on games with the swipe of a thumb. Those with money enough to buy it have access to the likely champion by kickoff of the first game from a highly intelligent data analysis software. There are some discussing the mix of robotic and human players, but the purists that are still around fight against it. FIFA officially became the Church of FIFA in 2036 as a PR move after their 5th corruption scandal in 3 years. Does that all really happen? Oh no, the world collapses into World War III in like 5 years? What year is it? 2018. Oh shit, 4 years. Good luck, hope you like spam. Okay. So technological innovation is kind of new to FIFA and the World Cup. Their former president, Sepp Blatter, was against technological help in the game. So it's no surprise that in the first World Cup since he resigned, there's a lot of technological innovations being introduced. The future that future me described doesn't sound so far-fetched. Given the advent of 4K Ultra HD in the last few years, I don't doubt that television technology will keep pushing forward until they get to better-than-life resolution, or maybe by the year 2070 we'll all be fully accustomed to using VR headsets. VR recording of live events is only just beginning, but I think soon in the next few years we'll see a large boom in this. Oculus Events is recording this year's World Cup, and the BBC even has a live VR stream for its fans. And the technology behind recording events live in VR is only getting better. A company called NextVR revealed earlier this year that they have the ability to record events live with 6 degrees of freedom. What is a degree of freedom? Well, degrees of freedom essentially refer to how much you can move around within a VR experience. So if NextVR keeps going with their degrees of freedom, soon you'll be able to sniff down and smell the jockstrap of your favorite soccer player. Yeah, technology. What about player relays and augmented reality coaches? So the idea of having active sensors on players isn't that new given the use of EPTS or electronic performance tracking system technology in this year's World Cup. While the monitors that might track heart rate and blood pressure and different injury information are too invasive right now, they're only going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and in medical technology we're seeing sensors the size of a Band-Aid. With this year's use of EPTS technology, all of the information is being fed to tablets that the coaches can look at, but once AR takes off, it'll make a lot more sense for coaches to be able to actively watch the field rather than have to consult a tablet to see this information. The VR and AR industry is expected to shoot up above $100 billion by the year 2021. And while VR might be the king of entertainment, AR may turn out to be the king of practicality, with applications that'll make Pokemon Go just look like a cheap novelty toy. But what about the sensors? So a big array of sensors has already started with the World Cup. We have goal line technology, Hawkeye cameras being used to determine the exact moment that the ball crosses into the goal, and then this is sent to referees with a small signal on their wrist. Which brings me to my next point. Robot referees. So in order to consider the potential of robotic referees someday, I decided to consult my friend, willrobotstakemyjob.com. It doesn't look good. So, what about cryptocurrency? Given the hopeful future adoption of cryptocurrency, despite the current bear market that we're all sitting in, It will make a lot more sense to gamble with cryptocurrency in the future because it's safer, more legal, and you can't bet with money that you don't have. Waves and Ethereum, companies like this, are offering people a safe way to gamble. People love to gamble. They love to take risks. They love to feel that little pump of adrenaline when they think that they might lose it all. But more than that, people fucking love to make money. So, will there be cryptocurrency being used for betting in the 2070 World Cup? I sure as hell think so. But what about the idea of data predictions that can predict with almost certainty the winner of the World Cup? Well, this is certainly not far off. We have data companies all over the world trying to use data analysis to predict the champion of the tournament. EA Sports' prediction of the last 3 World Cup winners has been correct, and nobody's really sure exactly how they do that. Maybe they just consult a wizard or sacrifice a virgin or something. In an article from TechRadar, they did an interview with a data company that was trying to predict the winner of the World Cup, and when they asked them for their prediction, the company wouldn't give it up. Not because they were worried they were wrong, but because that information was so valuable that they thought they would be able to sell it to the right buyer. So as data analysis technology gets better, and as our understanding of machine learning and AI in order to process massive amounts of data gets better, I think it's almost certain that one day you'll have people where they can spend the right amount of money and get the almost certain prediction of the winner of the World Cup. And then at that point, is gambling even fair? Who knows? And last, but certainly not least, robot football players. Or soccer players for my fellow Americans. If you know anything about me from some of my previous videos, you know that I believe that robots are coming. Sometimes literally. So with the organization, the RoboCup, and the whole community behind them that really believe in creating humanoid robots to play football, I think by the year 2050, they might reach their goal. I mean, look at these little guys go. Well, okay, maybe not 2050, maybe a little. Oh. I think the robotic sport we should be investing our time and energy into is robotic fighting.
Oh, my block is knocked off.
I mean, doesn't that sound awesome? Well, hopefully it's more exciting than this. This video comes from Megabots Incorporated, an organization that wants to create a real robotic fighting league. Awesome goal. I mean, look at the team. How are you all so jacked? God, I gotta start building giant robots. Good for you. Good on you. Anyways, this has been the ForkU predictions for the World Cup in the year 2070. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Will we be watching the World Cup in VR? Will there be robotic referees and sensors and all that good stuff? Let me know what you think. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and slap that little bitty bell before you go. Thanks for watching. I gotta go do something. That's ForkU.